everybody, to session 56 of New Horizons. We left on a bit of a cliffhanger, but maybe not as dramatic one as we've had in the past. We'll begin as usual with a recap, this time by Avery.
Okay, well, Kareem really isn't as cool a guy as I thought. Nero tells me he's been working for the alien lizard people. I don't think that he knew that, though. Cade also started working on some computer stuff while Nick and I recruited the homeless army to collect things for us to enhance our van. Saoirse and Cade got into a little lover's quarrel, and Nivea came around to visit and answer questions.
All right. I'd say that about sums it up.
Did Ben just chop up for everyone or just me?
Just you.
Oh, phew. That's good to hear.
Well, it's not good for me because I've been troubleshooting internet issues since Thursday last week. So
Uh-oh.
hopefully this session goes good for me. I can't promise.
Hopefully so. Yeah, you've been clear so far. So.
I need you to get outside of this victim mentality, Robert. It doesn't help set you up for success.
Okay,
Oh, boy.
thanks.
Coming in swinging.
Feisty already.
No,
These
I
are
just
rips
think the
she's
whole
been
talk
waiting.
about. What'd you say?
I said these are rips she's been waiting for an excuse to give.
All right, so real quick before we start, though, because I feel like we're gonna dive straight into group chat with Nafia. Does anyone think there's a chance Nafia does not know that the alien lady is an alien lady?
Yes. I
Okay.
think there's a smaller chance Nafia does not know that the alien lady is using her house. Tiny little chance. But there.
Yeah, I guess I lean towards it being unlikely,
Yeah.
but I think she knows, but she might not know.
Hey, if homeless people can do it, why not homeless aliens?
Oh my.
What, turn into lizard people?
Yeah.
I think he meant squatting in people's houses unbeknownst to them.
Ooh, that would make more sense than, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But anyway. People
I
usually
think
don't
it's
have a
too.
trapdoor under the occupant's bed.
Yeah, I think Nafia's been under there with the lizard lady. Thank you for laughing at my joke. Appreciate it.
Oh, I think we were laughing at the GIF.
Sorry, it was
Oh,
it was very well timed. Right as you said, she's been under there with
I
the
was
lizard
like,
lady.
I didn't even think that was a very strong joke. But here we
Ethan
are.
posts two lizards, with iconic poses lounging
That's
in
pretty great.
chairs.
Those are very iconic poses. The GIF King strikes again. All right.
Right. So in the conversation, I believe
so far,
the
what's
last.
happened in the conversation?
Well, let's see. You guys have danced around it a good bit, trying to trap Nafia in some slip up, or encourage her to reveal something more on her own. She has so far avoided doing either, it would seem, and she's been a little bit confused and even put off at times by the directness that Saoirse or Brother Nick has used. But she was eventually willing to, though begrudgingly, tell more detail about her sudden personal trip that she had to take. and she told you that she had to go take care of a family emergency that was out of town with her, the rest of her family that lives several hours away.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, Dex.
The shots fired tonight.
There's
Wait,
my
is it-
secret tonight.
Is my static still happening?
Every session. Yep.
Okay, see, I only found out about it. I'm pretty sure I only found out about like last week.
No.
No, it was like a month and a half ago, man.
I concur with this statement,
I
but
know
it
you
doesn't
slept
bother.
since then.
It doesn't
It has been
bother
a
me,
while.
honestly.
He's barely
Okay.
slept since then, to be fair to bed.
Dex is obviously very upset, but
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
Affects the quality of my stream. You're losing me viewers, Ben.
I got you. Well, that's weird because I was listening to the stream from last week, and I didn't listen to the entire thing,
Yeah.
but I didn't ever catch any of it. Was it not as bad last week or something?
I mean, it comes and goes.
Oh, okay. So it's just this weird intermittent issue.
It's
Yeah.
also
Like right
Cool.
now, there's no static, but 5 seconds ago there was.
Yeah. It's
Mm.
also possible that the stream software is filtering it out as noise. I have to be honest, I haven't listened to you talk on one of the sessions either. And I
Can't really
mean,
blame you. I'm painfully slow to listen to in retrospect. At least I think so.
we've just got confirmation. Oh, that's running so never mind. No, don't worry about the slow. We can always turn the VOD or the video speed up to ×2.
True.
Just me and Ronan Soldier here. Oh wait, nope. Now there's 5 viewers. We're good.
So anyways, yeah. I think we left off on Nafia's response. Where do you guys want to go with that?
Well, you know
Wait, what
which.
response did she give him?
Oh, that
Did you
was
say
the
general caginess?
yeah, the evasion. Well, it may not be evasion. It may be honest, legit answer. It just seems like
Her-
evasion.
Yeah, her explanation for her missing time was that she
Yeah.
had a sudden family emergency that she had to go out of town for.
Oh, I meant to ask last time, and I don't think I did. When Brother Nick had, I guess, essentially repeated the message he'd left for her AI computer in their conversation, did
Mhm.
that seem like it was news to her?
It did. Now, I don't believe you. I mean, I guess what I should say is she didn't make any sort of. She didn't have any sort of reaction that would make you think, like, "Ha, got you. You did
Mhm.
hear that."
And just to continue playing the counterpoint, so that we don't go charging in, it is honestly
Pop,
entirely
chair shot,
possible.
pop.
It is entirely possible that she does have family problems, that she does have kids that are with someone else, and that those toys in the yard are sad reminders of children she lost in a custody battle.
Or if she even just said, things are getting really dicey here with the tunnel snakes and the military. I
Yeah.
better relocate my children outside of the city.
Yeah, that's the sunny side of the same point.
Mhm.
But a good point that she might actually have children that we just don't know about.
Yeah.
Um. Okay. Well, whoever wants to take point on this next bit, I cannot remember exactly what the last couple of questions we asked her were. So
I'll take point with Nero.
Java wants to ask about her family when she says that she had an emergency.
like he wants to ask if they're okay.
Yep. He's going to specifically ask if her sister is okay.
Her sister.
Okay, so if Java asks that, she'll look over at him and say, excuse me, who are you again?
Java, I've been here the whole time.
Oh,
I feel like
Well.
Java would have come up in the recap of things we've done since we saw her last.
he is our pilot after all.
Yeah, he would have been mentioned. He said, yes, of course, the new pilot.
And friend.
Well, she gives him kind of a long-suffering look. I didn't say anything about my sister. It was one of my children. And yes, he's fine now. Thank you for asking.
Where is he? Why isn't he with you?
She sighs with a pained look. Since apparently no one has filled you in, my family situation is a bit complicated and also personal. But if you must know, they live in a different city where, without me, because I lost custody in the divorce.
Oh, I just thought they lived with you because of the toys. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have asked.
She does a double take.
Oh no.
Oh. I don't think you guys had mentioned that you were
Nope,
in her
yeah, we
house,
had.
had you?
Mm-mm.
Okay. What toys?
The toys. Are those not your toys?
Saoirse's
She's giving him a suspicious look and glancing at the rest of you.
Saoirse is going to clear her throat to get Nafia's attention.
Okay.
And then she'll say, Nafia, oh, wait, sorry, pause real quick, backtrack, pause before I go forward.
Okay, pause.
Kareem had been concerned, right? Because he had no idea where she was, right?
hmm
Correct.
Okay. And it's been how long that they've had no idea where she is?
We can
2
have.
weeks, right?
A week and a few days. Let's see.
And the
Week and a
tunnel
few days.
snakes were talking like she was captured or dead or something for all they knew.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's absolutely reasonable that we would go over there.
I was just about to let her know that we went over there, essentially, but wanted to make sure I had all of my facts straight before we do that.
Oh, yeah.
So,
So it actually was. It was just shy of 2 weeks.
and at what point did we break into the compad servers?
That would have been like yesterday. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, because it was at
Mm.
the It was at the end of the day that had the bombing and the tunnel snakes meet up and the date and the wind cutter.
I almost feel like we need an in-game calendar that we write events onto.
I have
Oh, yeah.
one.
But it's a secret calendar.
I could probably, without too terribly much trouble, I could probably clean it up and share it with the group. Because there's not too much on here that's secret knowledge. There were a couple things I did, but yeah, most of it is just me keeping notes on what you guys do, when, and where. Yeah. So anyway, you were just establishing that. So it's been almost 2 weeks since she had disappeared, and you guys had just hacked her phone records yesterday.
How long have we been away?
All right, let's see. You guys, let's see. So if she had been gone 2 weeks, let's see. You guys arrived back in Tabuk about a week after she went missing. And relative to when she went missing, last time you guys had been on Tabuk was... Let's see. I think the very... Yeah, let's see. 1, 2, 3. It was about 3 weeks and a couple days before that. And you left with the Prudence and its cargo.
All right. So Saoirse clears her throat, and when Nafia looks at her, she'll say, Nafia, love, this wasn't a regular, oh, I have to go for a family emergency. I'll be back. Our contacts through the tunnel snakes feared you had been captured or dead. Kareem had no idea where you were. To be completely frank, we were concerned for your safety. And so we took the liberty of trying to locate you through the Compad servers and saw that your phone had been completely shut off for almost 2 weeks now. We started to fear the worst, so we decided to make a house call. I'm assuming you've been home before coming here.
Yes, I have. She's
Well,
she's staring at Saoirse, fixed on what she's saying.
mm-hmm. All right. Saoirse will continue on. We at first attempted to survey the outside of the home to see if we could find any indication of someone inside. We thought maybe you'd been captured, maybe you were being held hostage in your own home. But we didn't see anyone, but we couldn't know for sure. What Java is talking about are your children's toys in the lawn that appeared to not have been touched for quite some time. And
No, they haven't. And she's glaring daggers at Saoirse at this point.
Saoirse is unfazed by the daggers. Um, she'll continue on and mention um, worried that you and perhaps your children, given that we do not know how often they visit, if ever, could be inside. We decided to force entry uh, to attempt to make sure you were okay. And we met your lovely security system and saw you were not there. However, we also found some things that are troubling to us, Nafia.
Did you now?
And
And she looks over at Nero. I suppose you're the one who left my security bots in pieces?
He attacked us.
I wonder why they did that. Maybe because you were somewhere you shouldn't have been.
Then you
Look,
need
I
better
appreciate
security
your...
bots.
Nafia, if anybody's talking about where one
Apparently.
ought to be, you've been missing for nearly 2 weeks.
Well, and I'm very sorry for that. And I'm very glad that you are also concerned about me, but this is not feeling like concern.
At this point, Nafia, it's a little bit of fear, to be quite honest, because we've trusted you with our lives. We've taken direction from you of how we should go about helping Yarala and Tabuk alike. And then we come to find some very concerning things under your bed. So if you'd be as open with us as we've been with you, we'd greatly appreciate it.
Ah, so you've told me every one of your secrets, have you? All your personal
Saoirse's
life
gonna
details?
give her a deadpan look.
I thought
This is
not.
a little more than not sharing the name of your hometown, Nafia.
Well, if that's how it's going to be, I believe we should probably leave this conversation for another time. Take some time to cool down. I, for one, am done here today.
So you've got nothing to say of the alien woman transporting herself to and from your basement.
And she's in the process of getting up. And then when Saoirse says that, she just stops, still with that glare, and says, "No, I have nothing to say about whatever you think you saw in my house."
We're not fighting against you.
This certainly feels like it.
We're not.
You broke into my house, destroyed my security,
Told you
snooped
why.
around into all my nooks and crannies, and now you're interrogating me about it. Not much trust as far as I can tell. Despite the help I've given you.
Well, if you are a divorcee as you claim, then I think you'd understand having suspicions of somebody you previously trusted.
Yes, I understand that perfectly. And she,
Nafia, we want to work together. We want to be able to trust you. We're asking that you explain what in the world is going on.
I will think on it. But at the moment, in this setting, in this way, I am not willing to explain myself to you.
Then when will you be ready?
And she's stood up at this point, and she's taken a couple steps towards the door. She'll pause and look at Saoirse and say, "I don't know. Going to need some time to process this and think about what is best for me going forward." And she looks at Kareem for a couple moments.
What is Kareem looking like in this situation?
He is looking stoic. Is
Gray,
Nero sitting
Rocky?
next to him?
I don't think so. Not so much. I think Naru at some point during this, because there's so much just going over all the heads, she had to get up and pace,
Yeah, I got you.
or she
Um,
was going to say something.
Yeah. Well, he's got a stoic look on his face. His body posture is just tense, and with when Nafia's looking at him, he just a bit of sadness enters his face, though he's trying to keep from showing all his emotions, just for the world to see.
Naru's gonna blurt something, by the way, once you're done narrating.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Blurt away.
Okay. Naru says, "We're on a timer. You know that. Take us down to your mind-reading computer. You'll see I'm being true."
Oh my gosh.
Her head whips up to Nero, and she says, "I understand very clearly that we're on a timer. There are things in motion that most of which you're aware of.
Then you know why we can't
Things-
wait for you to feel good about this."
Well, you're going to have to, or work a way around it. I'm not going to kowtow to you just because you helped and worked with me once. Yes, we've done incredible things to Tabuk.
I think
Something
Brother
like
Nick
that
will
doesn't-
stand up with that. We have done incredible things to Tabuk. I'm not sure how much in the grand scheme of things you might be said could be said that you have truly contributed. If we're being prickly about pride here,
This has nothing to do with
the time-
pride.
it seems very much about pride if you've decided that presentations about negotiations for a free and moderated Tabuk with foreign powers who could turn this planet to glass. And you've decided that the greater concerns are what's happened to the security bots in your house. The whole planet of Urala faced genocide and still has the specter of genocide hanging over them and what will become of their planet. And you're here bickering with us and telling us that we need to kowtow to you and your timetables. Timetables are moving beyond any of our desires, and windows may close soon that may never yet again open.
I have done no
I don't
such
know.
thing. I have. You can tell she's visibly trying to contain herself.
I don't know what personal feelings or animuses or whatever secrets you have going on between you and this alien woman and your, rather might I add, abrasive computer hiding underneath your bed.
She starts to just storm out the door.
Had we?
Thea, this conversation happens now where it never happens again. If you leave, I think we're done. And whatever becomes of Tabuk, you won't have a seat at the table when it happens.
She
Ooh, brother Nick playing hardball.
she
Yeah.
pauses in the doorway and turns back with a somewhat incredulous look. Seat at the table. All your presumptions. Well, you've shown me that you're not the sort of people that I want to entrust with my deepest and darkest and most personal secrets. So sure, have your seats at the table. I will go my own way. Farewell, and good luck to you.
This is dumb.
And she leaves.
Can Java ask her to check with the computer that scanned our brains?
He can call that after her,
Yeah,
but
I mean, I
doesn't
bet
seem
I
like
think
she's.
as she's leaving, he would probably say something like, "We don't have to
Oh.
be against each other. Check the computer that scanned our brains." I don't know how ever he would say that.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, so he calls that after her and doesn't get a response.
Nara looks over at Kareem now.
At this point, he's it seems like he's kind of white knuckling around his legs, and he's watching Narrow, but also looking around at everyone else. Seems very unsure of
Saoirse's
the whole situation.
yeah, Saoirse's got a hand over her face because that was not at all how she had wanted to continue with it. But things got very heated the more we were accused.
Nara will go over and sit next to Kareem if he doesn't flinch away from her.
He doesn't.
Yeah. She'll reach
I
out and
will,
take a hand and just kind of hold it.
Cade will
Yeah,
look at Saoirse and brother Nick and say, well, we need to plan new contingencies. She knows far too much, and it is too easy for her to backstab us if she decides to. We
Kareem's
definitely have
hand
to change
slightly
locations immediately.
unclenches. Oh, yeah.
And he'll look at Kareem for a moment and say, I'm sorry it went this way, Kareem. She was an associate of mine as well.
Thanks.
I know she was your boss.
Well, still is, as far as I know. I don't think she'll be able to fire me over this or necessarily want to, but this is going to get awkward.
Sure.
I should probably go. Need to. She might be mad at me for bringing her here. Might need to try to call her and smooth things over.
Do you want me to go with you?
Thanks, but no. I need to handle this, and I know you all have plans to make and things to figure out. Just call me if you need anything. please just. He, he gets a more pleading look in his eyes. I don't know, just try not to antagonize her too much. I know that this is all high stakes stuff and it's really important, but I don't want to have to pick sides.
Saoirse looks over at Brother Nick. I think we may be able to cool our jets a little bit.
Yeah. See what you can do, Kareem. Would much rather have her on our side, but I'm troubled by her evasiveness and her unwillingness to trust. We've already put a lot on the line, and there's not much of anything for us to go back to if this does not go well on Tabuk.
Yeah, I understand.
As well as to say, Kareem, I'd watch yourself when talking to her. There's definitely some concerns to be had when it comes to her defensiveness on this.
Yeah, for sure.
I understand having someone break into your house isn't exactly preferable, and those were expensive bots. But
I think it's more about.
I did attempt to let her know that our motivations were that we and her other allies were greatly concerned.
Yeah, and I know you guys were concerned. I mean, you were helping check on her because of me, but
I probably should have apologized sooner.
well, he pats Nero's hand and says, "She's always been a private person. Like I've told you, I don't even know just a whole lot about her family, um, but she's never let me down, and and especially not since we started, you know, working outside of usual channels."
Boris trusts her. That's enough for me.
Saoirse looks over at Nero. That's a lot of trust to put in one person, Nero.
She shrugs. She looks over at Saoirse, thinks about it for a moment, and then shrugs.
Yeah, I can't say I know Boris very well, but from a couple things I've heard, he seems like a solid enough guy. I guess, yeah, he was the one who sent that note, right?
Yes.
Hard to say if he knew about any of this, though. He's on a Rescore Coupiets right now. I think if he knew about an alien and a AI computer working with her, that he might have had a little more to say about both of those things when we ran into them.
Rescore Coupiets. Yeah, I would think so. If he's your friend, really, he would have told you. Well, yeah, and I mean, I believe you about the alien stuff. You showed me the pictures. I don't know what to make of it. I think time will tell, but yeah, I don't know,
Too
man.
bad. Too bad we don't have Java's intergalactic cable to call him up and talk about it.
Interdimensional cable.
Saoirse looks.
Oh, what's that?
Two equally fictional pieces of technology.
Oh, he started to look
Saoirse,
really intrigued and now crestfallen.
Saoirse looks like she's deep in thought, but when she speaks up, she looks like she's unsure about what she's going to say. Well, we do know about one very not fictional piece of technology that could get us there fast. But I don't know if we want to try it.
We
We
should
also happen to have just offended the person whose house it's in.
let her try to cool down first.
Like what? What's in her house? I mean,
Saoirse is going to look sharply at Kareem. There's obvious suspicion on her face.
Didn't he already hear all about this? I can't remember how much came out in the ice
Not
cream
all the
shop.
details of the pretext stuff.
yeah, and I think you guys told him that you had gotten in the house and that there'd been an alien in there, but you didn't tell him all about I mean, there had been a mention of a mind reading computer and stuff, but I think that kind of I think that was mentioned in just now in the conversation. I think not Avery, Java threw it out there.
It was Nero first said, "Put me in your mind reading computer."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I thought he'd heard more about it.
Maybe he did.
Nero pats his hand back. Maybe you should stop asking questions so you can talk to her with less knowing.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe the less
Saoirse would
I know,
say,
better.
I honestly don't think that the woman who feels we've invaded her privacy would appreciate us telling you all the nitty gritty things we saw in her house.
True. Yeah, I don't need to know all that. All right. Well, I'll get out of here and let you all figure out what you're doing. And he'll give Nero a hug and a kiss, and
Gross.
She keeps it to a peck.
Family friendly cream.
This is Brother Nick has a super soaker friendly.
Yeah. And Kareem is also acutely aware of how many weapons Brother Nick keeps on his person or near to hand, so he is also keeping it chaste.
Nero will walk him to the door and lock it behind him.
All right.
Looks around the room.
Gaslighting.
And then, if nobody's doing anything or looking like they're doing anything, Nero is going to go over to the closet and call over to Cade. When do we have to move by?
As soon as possible.
Do I have time for a run?
If you want to run between here and the new place, sure.
Yes.
I think running to our new location.
I'm
In the
doing it.
meantime, I think we have some calls to make.
Nero will usher any of the men in the room out of the room.
Pack everything first, though, Nero. You need to take it with you.
My weapons are all packed.
Close to.
she gives that kind of cockeyed, I don't want to look, with her mouth slightly agape, then
Let's
closes the
either that or
door.
buy new ones.
Saoirse will buy new ones.
Do you guys have a method established for communication with Bruce?
He's got one
He
of the
has the
burner
comm
phones, or is
server.
he in range of our comm servers?
Yeah, he's not close enough to use the private comm server, but yeah, if you guys had a burner phone situation set up, that would be fine. I just wanted to
Yeah,
check before I assumed that you had done that.
we probably would have a burner phone set up if we're out of range. I couldn't see us being without one, honestly.
Okay. All right then.
That seems
Oh,
to be
sorry.
something that Cade has made a priority
Mm-hmm.
to have on
Yeah.
hand.
All right then. Let me see here.
Yeah, so Cade's, in the other room looking for other accommodations that are roughly comparable, but far enough away that it would be hard to find them.
Mm. Okay. Robert, would you mind going ahead and rolling a 2d6 for the Bruce burner?
Nice, the tunnel snakes earlier.
Okay, cool. Um, one of Kate's burner phones starts going off, and
Okay.
it is the
He
one.
answers.
I don't know whichever way he has it. Hasn't differentiated if he's just got like little labels on
It
each of
probably
them.
has a bluegrass ringtone going off, honestly, because it's Bruce.
I was hoping it would be ringtone related. Um, yeah. So when you answer, hey, uh, did you guys have any code phrase, or I guess was it just kind of assumed this is a private connection? So would he just call you by your name and everything?
I feel like Bruce would have insisted
Um,
on a code word.
yeah, it probably would have been a code word or a nickname.
Feel like that would have been more of a Bruce thing than you might think.
um,
Yeah, wouldn't he a conspiracy theorist?
Something like that, yeah.
yeah, somewhat.
Yeah, I feel like a conversation probably went something like, "Hey, man, we got a code word for when I reach out to you with this burner phone here.
Yeah.
Well, it's a
Okay.
secure connection, so nah, man, you never know who's listening.
It's
Can't be
very
so
true.
trusting."
So
Yeah.
he says, "Hey, Moneybag, is this you?"
Oh no, money bags.
Cade will say, "Yes, it's me.
All right, good.
What's happening?"
Uh, I'd hate to bother you guys, but I was a little concerned, and I hadn't heard from you, so I figured I'd just make sure you weren't in the middle of something or you couldn't see what was going on. I don't guess y'all have been listening to the radio.
Not a lot, no.
Well, there's something cooking up, and I don't know what it is, but it doesn't look so good.
Uh-oh.
There's some chatter. You know, well, me and the buddies. Anyway, there's some people talking about stuff that was gonna go down, and people talk all the time, but it's kind of looking like something's going on at this point. And there was could have swore I saw a couple flashes up in orbit. Now they hadn't caught anything on the regular news, but you know how that is. They ain't gonna put anything on there until it's already done. But yeah, I know you guys got ways of knowing stuff, but I think something nasty's up. I don't know what it is, but just let me know if I need to come over and pick y'all up. Wouldn't want to be leaving y'all stuck in the city after it gets crazy. It's like end of the world or something.
Oh no.
Well, thanks.
Get him closer in position. They're like a day's ride from Kfar right now, right?
Yeah, now he could fly the ship, over in really a matter of minutes.
Yeah, but they're not to where we could go grab stuff from them easily.
No,
I'm
not
feeling
at
like this
all.
might be we need to be able to go over there maybe and get some of our stuff.
What sort of stuff
before
did you guys
moving
leave
on.
there?
I think some of our heavier weapons,
Mm.
a lot of our supplies and stuff.
Yeah.
I guess they had one of the comm servers. I think everyone pretty much just brought their personal effects. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever
Yeah.
tools and weapons are on the ship or were on the ship, as well as their extra manpower. It was Bruce, a couple of our turncoat buddies, and
Yeah, Bruce, Ahmed, Farouk, and Sabina.
yeah, so that might be 4 extra bodies that we need at this point. If stuff's popping off.
Or sorry, not Sabina, Samin. That's what it was. Sabina sounded wrong. All right.
Okay. Cade will say, well, thank you for letting us know. We will check in and see what's going on, and I'll get back to you if we need you. Keep an ear out for an hour or two. We'll see what's going on.
Alrighty, yeah. I'll have the phone on nearby and be geared up and ready to go just in case.
Thank you.
Stay safe out there.
We'll try.
Yeah, bye, Moneybags.
I guess that.
Hangs up.
Bye, money bags.
Cade will get up off the couch and then walk back into the other room, opening the door because Narrow had basically shut it. And so he'll stick his head in and say, Bruce just called. Sounds like something big is going
Saoirse's-
down here in the city. We may need
Saoirse's-
to move further out, maybe?
I was gonna say Saoirse's not in the room.
Uh-oh.
At this point, I was waiting. Sorry, I was trying to wait my turn to say something. I was just gonna say I think Saoirse would have probably tried to find a way to have some alone time to think. So she probably would have gone down to the bar.
Does she do that before Nero can square with her? Or does that happen after?
I suppose it could be after.
Okay. There's a little bit in Roll20 for you.
Okay.
Little conversational stuff.
Oh my. So yeah, that's after that.
Okay. So yeah, Cade comes into an empty room with at least one duffel that looks like it's full of clothes, stuffed, packed full of clothes. A duffel that is carefully packed with weapons, plenty of room in that thing, and a trash bag with some more clothes.
I guess he'll look around and be like, "Okay, great." Um, he'll pull up his data slab and like figure out what radio station the news is on, and maybe go for his burner phone. Um, that was connected to the tunnel snakes, and just like text and say, "Heard there's a big party tonight. Is that true?"
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry. You were asking that to who?
The tunnel snakes on the burner
Oh,
phone
on their
that
burner phone.
they have for them, and just like, "Hey, heard there's a big party tonight. You heard anything about that?"
Got you. Okay, so let's see. You'll get a message back. It's going to be to the effect of, "Sorry, we're scrambling a bit here. Uh, we got hit in on a couple of our rural what would they call them, hideouts, and
Oof.
our couple of our fighters got caught up in something going on in orbit. Uh, we haven't been able to make sense of what's happening yet."
Um, they'll say, "Okay, thank you." Turn on the radio in his earpiece, and then basically group text the party SOS.
Okay.
Like whatever our prearranged SOS is for the group.
I'm assuming we all come together on that one.
Yeah, there it is.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, I think moving people to the lobby. Brother Nick's gonna try to, or I guess be shooing Cade along and grab Nero's bag.
Yeah. Kid'll be grabbing bags and heading down to the lobby. He'll probably also text his henchman saying, change into a different hotel. This one might have bed bugs. Just use that as like code with them for like problems. And like share with them where they're gonna head to, or say like rendezvous in lobby.
Okay. They'll respond in the affirmative. They'll be ready. So the radio that he turned on in his earpiece, um, what was he wanting to try to tune into?
Like news, or maybe there's like a pirate radio station in the area with news.
Okay. Let's see here. There's unfortunately not a pirate station. Not on the planet here. Yeah, he can hit news first, and he can pick up pretty quickly just by uh, listening to stuff. He catches on the news that there's been some sort of Navy accident in orbit, but that it's first responders are on scene and it's being resolved. That's what it's basically a it's made mention of, and then they move on to other topics.
Oh,
But he does. Let's see. I'll say he does know. He knows somebody who one of his old hacktivists who sometimes puts out broadcasts. Kind of this independent journalism type stuff, but they usually have to kind of keep changing the where they broadcast from and frequency they use, because they get tracked down and shut down if they operate the same way for too long. But you could probably get some info from his connections that he still has over there. Go ahead and
Okay.
give me a connect roll.
I don't have that on my shortcut bar. 1 second. Charisma.
Yeah. Okay, nice.
That was just a naturally okay roll.
Yeah, he gets a message back. Yeah, man, you should definitely tune in. Here's the deets. There's something juicy going on, and they're not talking about it. And he knows that by they're talking the state-run media, and even the supposedly not state-run media.
Okay. He'll click over to that station, listen in on whatever the down low is. And
Yeah, listen up, all you true Tabukans. There's
Oh no.
there's something gnarly going on, and they
Oh
don't want
no.
you to know about it.
Oh no. Put, get your inner Alex Jones voice ready.
Oh goodness, no, I wasn't ready for that. Hey, you're the one who always tells me not to say his name. Now you can't
Oh,
go doing
sorry.
it.
Sorry.
Lol.
I wasn't going quite for that angle. Not about to start roid ranging on the air, but no, I think I'm gonna have a hard time keeping a straight voice, straight face doing it. But essentially in a slightly stoned sounding conspiracy-laden rant. This uh, this guy who only refers to himself in his on his broadcast here as the eyes and ears. Basically describes how there are a couple of ships at least that are duking it out over the capital city, around the station, the Mansouri station, the big one that's like in geosynchronous orbit over the city, and
Okay, Ben, this is what I was talking about, by the way,
what's up?
when I said, you've given us a lot of content. It's kind of hard to pursue all of the side quests. I'm just going to say, this is kind of what I was talking about. It's been a lot of action.
A
So,
lot of interruptions to the flow.
well, I wouldn't say they're interruptions to the flow, just that, like, well, I don't really know how to describe it. It'll be like we're in the middle of something, I guess, and then an event happens, which is, logical. It makes sense. That would need to happen. But it's been, pretty. I feel like we've been having a lot of action packed for a while. I don't know how to explain it otherwise. So
I got you.
that's what I meant when I was saying there's just a lot of content trying to work through.
Okay. Well, I will I'll make note of that. See if I can take that into consideration.
I
I
might be
think
the
it's
only
the
person struggling to
I think
keep
it's
up with everything, but
the Stars Without Number GM turn thing, constantly adding and turning events that could just come in randomly.
You give Kevin far too much credit. As much as I think that's a cool thing, I've honestly used that fairly little in this
Really?
game. Yeah, I've used it a
Okay.
couple times. I'm actually trying to think. Yeah, there have been a couple things that came from that that got mentioned and did come to light that have affected the gameplay. But a lot of it has just been little old me.
Is it something we can get
For better or worse.
Bruce to target the scanners on?
Yes, actually. It's let's see. Yeah, I'd say take just a little bit of finagling because they're designed for planetary surveying, not
Yeah.
and so but you think he could work it out. He could always trying to think if it matters. Yeah, we'll hand wave that. It's not like they're all those sensors are necessarily sitting on the underside of the ship, but it can be done.
Okay. Well, he'll call Space Trucker Bruce back and say, "Is this you, Bubba?"
Yep, but Bubba here.
All
Hey,
right.
money bags. What you got for me?
Think you could turn the survey scanners and point them in this interesting direction, and he'll give him like coordinates that aim at the area that you said it was like the space station or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um,
Ooh. Yes, I
and
could.
take a look, see, and let me know what you find.
Yeah, well, I guess I could at least get Ahmed here to help me take a look. I don't know that I've fiddled with those fancy scanners too much, but yeah, we'll get a real close look. I was hoping you'd say that, and let you know right away here what we're dealing with. And
Thank you.
so he'll stay on the line. You'll hear him shout over his shoulder to Ahmed. And
Nimbus.
That's not what he said.
Yeah, that's not what he says. Sorry, I thought I was muted. He's being a barky boy.
no,
That's
that would be
that's the password.
a good nickname for Ahmed. No, so you catch a little background chatter as they get in there. He explains what they need to do, and Ahmed says, "Yeah, I can do that." And they fiddle for a couple minutes, and then you hear Bruce exclaim, "Hoo-wee!"
Oh no.
Well, man, it is Esco Layton.
Oh great.
Well, what you
There's
see
a-
there, Bubba?
Well, there's a lot of stuff floating around, getting in the way a little bit. But there's a lot of lasers and missiles and stuff going back and forth. A lot of ships moving around. That's one of the battleships right there. Can't tell. I think the station's involved. Yeah, I think it's firing back. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't know what's
Like
going on,
the
but those.
station fighting the battleship, or who's shooting who?
Yeah,
Hey, Ben.
yeah. It looks like the battleship's getting hit by the station, and.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, Ben.
Mm-hmm.
The station over Tabuk wouldn't bear any similarity to the station over Eriscore Coupiettes, would it?
No, actually, that's a very good question. It is a fairly well, I shouldn't say standard. It is familiar post-tech construction. It's a large station, from having come through it at least once in your Far Trader guys. And it's it's pretty well kitted out with armaments and defensive technology for protecting the city and a lot of the planet's surface below it. And it's not quite the sort of thing that could command an entire hemisphere, but it certainly exerts a wide area of control.
Okay.
I'm pretty positive it's still more than enough to take on a battleship.
Might be, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely something like on par. The
I mean, it depends on how pre-tech the battleship is.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the
Because if
trick.
it's post-tech, the battleship
Mhm.
loses. Just flat out loses. I remember that much from reading about the the stations. They may not move, but they are tough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was Bruce able to
Yeah.
make out who the battleships are? See any flags on them or see any other indicators of?
Yeah, he says they're all Tabukan ships.
Well, that's something.
Boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at least by their visible insignia. He's not able to check their whatever we call those, their little beacons. But yeah, by all appearances, they are all Tabukan ships fighting each other at the moment.
Wow. Okay. Well, I figure by that point, Kate's probably making it down and says, "Thanks, Bubba. Keep an eye on it, and if something majorly changes, reach out and let me know. We're trying to change locations here."
Oh, all right. Yeah, I'll keep sending messages. Right now it's just it's quite a spectacle up there. There's a lot of other ships involved. I can't really make out all of them, but uh, looks like there are quite a few on both sides, and it's just making a mess of it.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, later.
Bye. And he hang up and hurry out to the rest of the crew. I'm sure Brother Nick is probably right with him, and maybe Java too.
Yeah, I
and
guess
be
if
like,
he's hearing that relayed,
yeah,
Brother Nick is immediately spamming that message. I guess first to the tunnel snakes,
yeah.
then to Nafia, and who else was I thinking we needed to get a hold of?
I don't know that we have a lot of other
Yeah, I guess we're not too spread
allies
out
on
here.
Tabuk.
Yeah, not many other people we could or
Homeless
who
army?
we're needing to reach out to. Well, I guess in context, does well, Ace, you got the hacktivist people, Cade. Between the two of us, do we have anyone who could go public with that information?
Probably. Mr. GM, you think so?
Talking about going public with the information you just got.
Yeah.
Yeah, that the Navy is
To
basically
report that Tabukan ships are fighting each other.
fighting each other.
Tell the homeless army.
That the government and the news are lying about the accident and they're trying to cover up some dissent.
Yeah, you think the hacktivists would be all over that?
Yeah.
I also
Kate
think
could probably send pictures and video to the eyes and ears relayed from Bubba.
Yeah, let Coast to Coast guy know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And start spreading that around.
Yeah, he would eat that
Eat
up.
it up?
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, make it so.
Exactly.
So Cade can get his number. Kind of he's got a number. He didn't advertise it exactly, but through channels that are in the know.
Yeah, he'll hit the tip line.
Yeah, there's a way to get information to him that's in a non-traceable way.
Yeah.
And as Cade's listening, he very quickly picks up on it and gets audibly excited about some new hot tips are getting in, and with some juicy details. Somebody's got a seriously high-powered scope that they're pointing up there and giving us the juicy deets. So yeah, he starts going with it, and you know that other people in the network will gladly start disseminating that in their various channels, since the Eyes and Ears has a relatively limited group of listeners. Let's see, let me tune in here to questions that are being asked here. Oh wait, sorry, that was earlier. I heard a little boop boop thing.
Oh, well, I did ask about reaching out to, or if we had any way we could get a hold of those Tabuk Navy members we left on that ship.
You do not have a direct line to them. You do know the names of the captains, so if you were so inclined, if you wanted to seek out, you might have some channels to get information about how to contact those people.
That might open up complicated. Yeah, I think we should, I don't know, try to get in contact with them.
Well, if they're not involved, it could compromise them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering. There's some risk there, and I guess it'd be best if we had a direct line to them. Yeah, it was kind of necessitated that we didn't.
Who all have we contacted so far? We've got you sent a message to Nafia.
Yeah, I guess we checked back in with the tunnel snakes, but it sounds like they're scrambling from a separate attack on some of their hidey holes, their activist cells.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, Brother Nick was kind of combing through stuff. Are there any other bombshells we need to find out about, Ben? That he would get through working the grapevine?
Going through his connections.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Yeah, there would be a bit of a commotion at Esposito's club.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
It's apparently kind of abruptly shut down early, and canceled reservations and any sort of any gigs and appointments they had for the night.
So sounds like the
The rich
house.
are getting out of town.
I was gonna say the house that knows what the biolab is doing and is getting ahead of the zombies. For a completely different analogy.
Oh, yeah. Different analogy. And I guess Brother Nick would probably also. He's made some connection. Give me a connect check for this next one. If he's running up and down the list here.
What attribute?
Charisma.
Boo. I thought Brother Nick would be super charismatic.
It's funny, but Cade's more charismatic than he is.
Yeah, this character was not built with being the face in mind. I already had to come up from having a -1 charisma attribute modifier.
Oh man. And
just-
Sack of Tax has more charisma than you.
Yeah, Brother Nick just aces every connect and talk check by sheer force of skill level and foci, which is quite effective.
I love that Stars lets you do that.
I was gonna say, it just goes to show. It is very nice. All right, so yeah, that will get Brother Nick a tip from one of his military bar buddies that there's some troops are getting mobilized. That there's something coming down the chain, and the rumor is in their circle that they might be putting a curfew in order and having to lock down the city for the night. And he actually would mention that there's some kind of I think there's some kind of coup going on in orbit.
Like maybe a soggy coup, the kind you would dip in milk.
What?
Yeah, something like that. You guys and your soggy acronym.
Is this the first time you've gotten it, Danielle?
Oh, yeah.
This is not the first time I've got
No,
it. I just
I'm
didn't
pretty
get
sure-
it at first
Oh,
tonight.
okay. Just making sure.
Okay, I thought Dan.
Uh-oh. Of
Is that
course, it would be the negative possibility of that coup. Yeah, with the hardliners.
What did you say, Ben?
I
heard you
think.
say my name.
Oh, I
I
was
want to
just
know
saying.
what you're about to say about me.
I thought Danielle had been the first one to use that acronym and call them the Soggy,
Soggy
Boys or
Boys.
something. Yeah.
Yep.
No. His military bar friends were on the conservative side. Are they get any ideas
So-
who's cooing?
So Brother Nick would know that they do tend to be on the, quote unquote conservative side of Tabukan politics. However, there is, the Sons of Glory would be, basically the far right extreme.
Oh, okay, so even
Level,
further
so-
right adjacent to them, yeah.
There would be a considerable number of people who would consider, the things that they have done and have considered doing and may be at the moment doing to be treasonous, and still be more loyal to the traditional Tabukan system. The traditional Tabukan imperialism is plenty I guess plenty authoritarian or hard line for most military types who have drunk the Kool-Aid, so to speak. I'm an American criminal lunatic. Oh boy.
Oh.
Okay, so they don't have a good idea on who's cooing.
Yeah, they don't know who's cooing who.
Who's coos.
It's a coup for all.
They
Coo,
do
coo,
not. Yeah,
ka-choo.
it seems like there's a lot of confusion
Hmm.
up in there.
It's a coos coup.
Coo coo ka-choo.
I hear you, Dex. You said couscous.
All right.
Oh, this qualifies as not good.
So you said you sent these messages to Nafia as well.
Mm-hmm. I figure that's a good exclamation mark on the.
We
Hey,
don't have time.
current events aren't on pause because you're having a hissy fit.
Brother Nick even throwed a hashtag called it on there. just kidding, but
While also fervently praying that she didn't cause whatever
Yeah, me too.
is going on as soon as she left.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how I told you so or sassy is
No, I
Brother
think
Nick
he
being?
still kept it straight facts, like,
Okay.
and just an implied let the reader understand.
Right. Okay,
So
cool.
still pretty much what he sent to the tunnel snakes. I guess with them, they would have had, I guess, the additional of like their
Mhm.
previous conversation that they'd had a few minutes before. Well, I guess hers was just the straight fact of like, hey, we've got confirmation that Tabukan ships are shooting each other. Well, that has me worried about going as wide open broadcast. Yeah, I guess we're already getting eyes on the situation.
well,
Getting words out to
I
the
don't want to do
hackers.
this. I don't want to do this, but Cade could possibly reach out to his dad about the whole thing
Mm.
and say, "This is the time for the king to step up, put down these sons of glory, and make Tabuk a more neutral power." If he doesn't,
But could this not be why the Sons of Glory have started? Like, if they've started the coup, it might be because the king was showing too much softness.
Yeah, I was wondering if it's. I guess we were talking to some of the just out and out rabble rousers, saying if there's going to be a curfew, well, even I guess maybe broader than just directly reaching out to them, we go back to the phone company or whatever. We hack the airwaves and try to get the ball really rolling.
hack the emergency warning system.
Like, yeah,
This
just
time?
we get too many people out on the street for whatever's going on to, happen in a corner for them to just quietly run their takeover. That whatever that GIF is, Dex, it's too mesmerizing.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I pretty much lost the last 5 minutes. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think if we I don't know. I was thinking if it was a positive coup, where it's
Mhm.
like the more moderate soldiers, who aren't cool with what the Sons of Glory have been doing, might be really good to, I don't know, get more of our propaganda blasted out on the airwaves, and to get people out on the. Well, I guess even if it's our negative one, Sons of Glory, it's probably worth telling people. I guess the way we direct them would be dependent on who's launching a coup here.
Yeah, I got a
I don't
thought.
know how we can find out more.
I
Tell us your thought.
don't think it's a positive coup. Um,
Based on our
those
track record, I'd probably agree.
well, also those sorts wouldn't be so inclined, in my opinion. Ben may have different opinions. To actually start a coup or do any kind of
Mhm.
broad, sweeping military action um, for what's essentially a rogue element to what they consider the valid government. Like, they're not going to take any action against the government because these other guys are doing something. They might respond if they think that these other guys, that the rogue element, is going to do something. I also had a second thought. Well, this was my second thought. My first thought, following from what Danielle said, about time for coup to begin. We may have also forced their hand with some of the propaganda that we were releasing, and also getting spreading that information through the channels. We knew that there were moles on ships, and so it's entirely possible that not leaking, showing it to those two ships, it very likely it would have spread throughout and then gotten to a mole who said, "Well, they know, and we need to step up our game." This is the Soggy Boys. So.
Okay, and I guess from Nafia's text, she's pretty sure it's the Sons of Glory.
Okay, so Nafia actually responded.
What was her
Yeah,
response?
in the session chat.
I was kind of laughing to myself because I had typed it out, and then Dex, you were almost like hitting point for point the things that she was texting back to Brother Nick in response to his information.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. So.
Well, then, I think that's our move then.
It is our move, but here's a question. Now that things are going to a military, like an actual military action level of violence, where do we fit in? A lot of our plans were to spread the propaganda and get people against the Sons of Glory. I'm not sure we need to do that anymore.
Well, I think it's public.
yes.
Public push.
I have an idea.
Like
Okay.
I was saying. Sorry.
I do have an idea, and I was kind of chatting about it on the side a little bit with Danielle. What if we start a push for a loyalist faction, support the True King versus the Sons of Glory? They've besmirched Tabuk's honor, but put it in a, basically set the government right, get these people out of it, support the True King.
Yeah, that's a good extra twist to it. That's kind of what I was thinking our next move is here. We get to whatever our widest broadcasting capability is here in KFAR, and we lay out everything. I guess we go for our ultimate info drop. I think, Ben, you were saying we know the corrupt houses from, was that session 4 last?
Yes. Yeah,
so I think
you
we
guys
go
have had
to
the names, but I just hadn't spelled them out for you.
Yeah, spelled it. So I think we go to that ultimate message we were waiting to kind of drop of, we name names, we tell them about the Sons of Glory. And yeah, I like that. We keep up with the message of, especially, well, it works really good since they're cooing against the government right now.
Mm-hmm.
That these radical authoritarians you're trying to overthrow the rightful king.
Can we work in, because
getting you a wind cutter?
Yes, that and the whole bioweapons thing has seemed kind of muddy. I don't know if we've ever truly confirmed if it was just a Sons of Glory plot or if it had some sanctioning from above, from the king.
You have not.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's still muddy.
Could we unmuddy it on the side of basically painting Urala as a Sons of Glory plot, one of their key points, so that when the government has to disavow the Sons of Glory, they have to
Right.
disavow the Urala action also.
I
Yeah,
think it
that's what.
also gives them an easy out to wash their hands of what was happening with Urala because they can
Mm.
pin it all solely
Yeah,
on Sons
Ooh,
of Glory and claim ignorance,
I like that.
and that
Yes.
makes them more likely to take our side.
Yeah,
yeah,
they
that's
can
what I've
save
been leaning
face while
towards.
simultaneously disavowing and putting down
Exactly.
the
You have to give
Sun's
them a
glory.
benefit to disavow their longtime allies because even though everyone else is turning on longtime allies, if longtime allies have been there for them for how long, it's going to be difficult. But if it's an easier choice because they're getting to, we're offering them a way to look good, to get support that they haven't been having recently, and to wash their hands of something they would not be proud of,
Hmm.
then I think they're more likely to go with that. Any government with a larger sense of self-preservation than loyalty to an extremist group would make that choice.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I think that's our move. So maybe in the short term, I think we reach out to everybody that we can get a hold of and tell them hit the streets, go crazy.
I
When we
think
get towards the biggest broadcasting thing, that
though
we can.
first Saoirse would want Cade to reach out to his dad.
She wants
Because his
daddy issues to come up.
well, no, not just that she wants the issues to come up, but because Cade's dad has knowledge and connections
Mm-hmm.
that are super important right now.
And we were gonna reach
So
out to what's his face, dude. Probably time to speed run. Yeah, these conversations that Brother Nick and Cade were gonna have.
well, I feel like that's up to the GM how much he wants to speed run character development, but let's
Also true.
What
yeah.
do we have a short list of conversations you guys were wanting to have?
Okay, I've got it from the notes. Chanda Abdel. We were gonna try to meet with him since it was sounding like he'd be friendly
Mm-hmm.
towards our cause. And I guess Papa Breckenridge, we didn't know which way he was falling.
I think we need to speak with Breckenridge Senior first
Yeah,
and make sure we have all our information before trying to
yeah.
call and talk to the other guy.
He's not as much of a cold call as Chanda Abdel's gonna be. He's like, hey, no, we've never talked before. Coup's going on, and we could really use some help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And knowledge is power, I think. So
Yeah, because he had some degree of Sons of Glory connections, so
Yeah.
he can tell us any about.
Although I think Saoirse is gonna have to poke Cade because he's been having cold feet about that the whole thing.
So,
all right. Well,
yeah, let's hear that.
Cade's well, I won't narrate for Cade. Saoirse's downstairs in the bar, drinking out of a to-go cup.
Solo cup. Yeah, Cade.
No. She'll say, "It's coffee, if you must know."
We'll just shrug and nod and say, okay, good. I think the rest of us are ready to move. We can hop in cars
She
and I found us another place.
goes to take her bag. How quickly do we need to move?
I think the sooner the better, just in case. Done a lot here, and I don't know if mean, I think Nifia's okay with us right now and won't act against us, but I just feel safer.
She's gonna look at him for a second. She's trying to get a read on how he's feeling right now
He's a
before
bit
she.
conflicted. The whole war in orbit right now is kind of got him in a I don't know how to feel about this mood. While the
Mhm.
conversation with Nafia definitely had him sus about her, and
Yeah.
so he's all just
Sersha's.
conflicted.
What's the rest of the party up to down in the lobby? Or are we still waiting for everyone to gather in the lobby?
Saoirse's
Brother Nick was trying to usher people all the way out of the hotel, but I think we had paused for I guess all the mini revelations that have been happening.
So maybe he's like loading up a trolley with our bags or something. Like, Nero, stop throwing that ball in the lobby.
Oh no, Nero's pacing. She's
No, I think
she's attentive and
it
eager and
wouldn't.
pacing.
His wasn't even anything as organized as a trolley. It was like while he was texting and calling, he was tossing everybody's bags in the back of the car and was trying to
Right.
push
So
people.
Saoirse's seeing Brother Nick outside putting stuff in the car. Uh, seems to be, in a rush, but takes a moment to very quietly say to Cade, I know it's going to be hard for you, but I think you really need to call your dad.
Oh boy. Is this revenge for earlier?
She's snorts. uh, no, so I could have used your help, but I really just feel that your father, we know he has information we don't have, and I think we're running out of time to learn it on our own.
I'll call him.
Do try
So
to be a
he'll
little more civil than you are to me, all right?
That's a big request, but I'll try. He'll flip
You can do it.
open. I don't remember if we had allocated a phone specifically for his dad yet. I don't think we've
You
reached out.
did.
Yeah, you did.
I
Okay, yeah.
remember that.
Okay, yeah. He'll pull
Yeah, I
out
don't,
his
I was gonna say I
his
don't think
daddy
we've
issues
actually
phone.
used it yet, so this will be the time. I'm trying to just, you know, we'll roll for them when they get used, basically.
Yeah. So 2d6 then.
Mm-hmm. All right, looking good.
Yeah. So he'll pick up the phone and dial his dad's number.
Okay, and so, uh, he had prepared this beforehand with his dad, so he would be expecting that this is Kadir.
Yeah. And they left, he used the equivalent of like a burner phone or something. So I'm pretty confident that his dad would be expecting this.
Okay. All right,
So
so
she'll give his arm a small pat before walking off towards the car.
Yeah,
I
he'll
can give
walk
you some
in.
space.
He'll walk out towards the cars.
all right, so the phone picks up, and his father's voice answers, Breckenridge.
I forgot the Danny
Cade
Breckenridge
will say.
voice.
Cade will
Just a hint of disappointment with every word.
yeah, Cade will say, it's me, Dad. Is this an okay opportunity to talk?
Well, your timing is likely means one thing. All right, do you have something to do with what's going on in our city right now?
guess it depends on which thing you're asking about, because as far as I can tell, there are several things, and I am not sure what's going on.
I don't know if I should be reassured by that or not.
Um, are you aware of what's going on in space right now in orbit?
Yes, we can talk about that. I will warn you that we cannot talk completely freely about certain other matters that should be for our ears alone. So, since you're only calling about current events, we'll stick to that topic. And
Okay.
yes, I'm at least loosely aware that there's a battle that's broken out. Believe it's centered on the Mansuri, and seems to be primarily overtaking control of it. We've not got clear lines of communication with the station at the moment, though. I fear interference on board as well. My men are my men are nearly finished staging to be deployed, though I'm in a few simultaneous communications with some of the other cabinet members over what exactly is going on. Minister Barker is suspiciously silent. I fear the worst.
Yes, we're fairly pessimistic on what is happening right now as well. Based on what you said, I'm thinking maybe we have to meet someplace neutral, perhaps in person, so we can speak privately.
Perhaps, though I would be concerned for your safety. We're He hesitates, but then decides to press on. I believe we're going to be heading straight for the palace, one way or the other, until we sort out what exactly is happening and who is doing what. The palace is going to be at the center of this.
Well, would you like a full copy of the information we've uncovered? I feel like you can make use of it at the palace.
Certainly. This is information on the Sons of Glory.
Yes, and their plans, some of the
Plans?
people on their roster,
Well,
affiliated houses.
as long as I
Um,
don't know how you acquired it, then I should be able to make use of it and obtain plausible deniability.
Well, this information has been widely disseminated at this point. So the fact that you would find a copy is not hard.
In his silence, Cade can picture his father's typical eyebrow raise when his son has said something particularly concerning. but he
It was necessary, Father. I think we have an idea that could be beneficial. But
very well.
speaking with you
Saoirse's
to share it would be safer in person than perhaps even over the phone.
Of course.
Saoirse had tried to give Cade room to have this conversation, but since he also came outside, she can't help but overhear Cade's portion.
And when she hears him say, "I think we have an idea that could be beneficial," she feels her own eyebrow kind of shoot up.
He responds, "Well, Kadir, you do have more experience in that realm than I do. Suppose we shall see."
Well, if
Yes, if you would like to, meet in person en route, I suppose that would be all right. Perhaps you'd even be safer surrounded by our men. I do hope you're not intending to get caught up in the fighting itself.
I think we would rather avoid the worst of it for now. I've never
Why,
had
son?
much stomach for fighting. Yeah, he's totally
As
not
well you don't.
saying that he's already been in fighting for this whole thing. But when it comes
Yeah.
to orbital bombardments and stuff, he's definitely staying out.
Yeah, and yeah, because he knows very well how his father would feel about him getting involved in that stuff. And so he says, I suppose if you have this, you'll be sending it over, but can you tell me, are there any cabinet members I can particularly trust or not trust?
Yes, there are several that you can trust. And he'll include like the list of the couple names that they've vetted as here's who you can trust and who you can distrust, and he'll just kind of enumerate those.
Okay. Yeah, and this is noteworthy. I don't remember if I feel like maybe I typed them out all for you at some point. Maybe I did not.
Yeah,
But
and
here I'll put them here. Um,
yeah, this is very familiar as to yeah.
because
Okay.
he would have recognized. I probably should have mentioned it right when his father said it, but the name he mentioned as being suspiciously silent is the Minister of Defense, and is one of the names that was in the information. And I don't remember. It's been a long time, so I'll just say it now, if whether I did or not before. The information that you guys had that tied these 5 houses to the Sons of Glory definitely smacked of like potential blackmail material. Like, basically records that somebody in the Sons of Glory decided, hey, we should keep records of this in case we need to,
Oh
have dirt on
no.
anyone.
They burned themselves.
Yep. And okay, so he'll list to his father and say the Minister of Defense, Douglas Barker, that you were speaking about, you cannot trust him. And several of the other ministers, Awad, Hannah, Liu Deng, Valerius, they are all affiliated. We found a cache of possibly blackmail information that the Sons of Glory were keeping on those who had helped them. And so that is included in this packet as well, because I know you can make use of that. Side note, Ethan, are you sure about that?
I think it's the only play we got. And hey, we're about to overthrow one government. If she starts a terrible evil government.
I'm
What's the second one?
I'm kind of on the uncertain list on that also. Why do you think that that's like why do you think that's a good play first off?
Well, even from all the craziness that's going on, it still seems like she's against the Sons of Glory. And she didn't totally walk away. I mean, she could have just left us on red after we sent the update about the Tabukans.
I think we need to keep her I was gonna say in the back pocket, which is totally the wrong phrase. I think we need to
Oh,
keep
that
her.
Yeah, she's not our strongest play, but I was thinking if we're having to quickly whip together a coalition, she may not be on our side, but she certainly seems pretty
The
certain
enemy
that
of your
she's
enemy.
at least rowing in the same general direction. Yeah.
That's all true, but I think we may do more damage and harm to any relationship we have with her if we connect her or out her to anyone. I think she needs to be kept our secret.
Yeah, that I was leaning towards. She's not going to want us to share anything about her.
Yeah, I guess that being outed. That's a good.
She holds her privacy above everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And there is some extreme advantage to having somebody in a good
Working
government position like
background,
her that nobody knows about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, shadow cabinet kind of stuff.
I just have to say, I am loving this so much. You guys are doing so great.
I don't know. I think your dad can help us reach out to. I guess I was floating of our two government contacts. It's Nafia and this Chanda. So I don't know. Maybe he can help grease the skids on that conversation.
Well, Cade will throw in. It seems like they went to the upper rankings most of all. They definitely have some lower soldiers and some zealots and specific units under their control, but it seems like they went to the top of the chain to work their way down, and they worked on corrupting specific ministers with specific influence, and so the middle rankings are probably the safest.
Oh shoot.
So,
Hmm.
but yeah, he'll send his dad
Interesting
everything
assessment.
they have on the Sons of Glory, the bioweapons, and all that stuff.
Okay. Did you guys fill him in on General Ahmad when you were
Oh, I don't think
I guess
we did.
when you first left? Okay. Because I knew there was
No.
relatively little time, but I didn't know if you guys had wanted to get him that involved at that time.
I think Cade has kept his
Okay.
dad as much
think
on a need-to-know basis as possible.
Yeah.
So yeah, we could say that you
Yeah, in that case, he'll also say General Ahmad is definitely untrustworthy and is acting on behalf of the Sons of Glory if he's still alive.
okay.
He will throw that under the
If
bus
he's
and leave
still
it there.
alive.
I saw that, Ben.
What did you see?
Let's see. Monday, April 17th, 2023, 9:01 p.m. Oh, that was 30 seconds ago.
You go back and edit it.
He did. He edited his misspelling of Nafia.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. You need to lay off of whatever you're
Nice.
hitting.
That's okay. I can.
The Nafia truthers will be heard.
So there's only 12 results of Nafia. Now I'll put this one in OOC chat. Funny. Or sorry, there's only 11 results now. Funny. There were 12 a moment ago when I took this screenshot.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Oh, sorry, Ben.
Oh no, I mean, do whatever you got to do.
I suppose it's more sorry to the whole crew for interrupting the scene with.
He's just adding an extra war bot to the army we're gonna have to fight to get to that broadcasting station.
Oh no.
Ethan, you're thinking so small, but I applaud you anyway. You're in the right. You're thinking in the right direction.
And Nero hasn't gotten her month of training in the powered armor.
No.
No.
And I will say, just for the record, before we lose the interruption, I fully blame you guys for the mix-up on the spellings because, yeah, I spelled it right the first time.
Oh, of course, that's the first time it was spelled.
Uh,
Yeah, it's impossible to misspell it the first time. You just make the first time canon.
If it does make you feel any better, the correct spelling has or had 37 results before it got mysteriously increased to 38.
That does make me feel better. I'm glad you guys are working hard to increase the ratio there of correct spellings to incorrect spellings.
Not I.
But anyways, so Ethan, I will openly admit that yes, I was gaslighting you guys there. Which I will say I was a little, well, we'll have to recap later, talk about the Nafia conversation because I'm curious what
I knew that was
your
going to
thoughts
come
are.
up.
Anyway, because but anyway, for now, oh man, it's already 11:05.
We broke our GM.
We did.
Got
Now
him
I'm
spluttering.
trying to get my bearings back. I'm also trying not to get too derailed. So
What
we
about too
had.
derailed?
Yeah, no, that's not gonna work either. It sounds like the consensus at the moment is not to not to put Breckenridge in touch with Nafia, correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Although we may ask for his help with Chanda. What do y'all think?
Why do we
I
want to?
think we,
Go ahead, Daniel.
yeah. I was just going to say, I think we keep Nafia off the table.
Yeah.
I may have missed something. Why do we want to meet Chanda?
When we were looking at slow rolling things, or I guess thinking we had a little more time, Ben had said he seemed, or like of the ministers, he seemed like he was the most friendly to the cause.
Are
So
you?
if
I mean,
we're
if we happen to meet
consolidating,
him, if we happen to meet him on our way to see Cade's dad,
yeah, I guess thinking if we're trying to consolidate as much government power to resist the coup, might be worth reaching out to him and
maybe
saying, hey, we hoped we could have done this over more time, but we're kind of out of time.
maybe we get Cade's dad to reach out to Chanda.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Hopefully he can.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood. I thought you were wanting us to connect with Chanda, and I'm like, we're outsiders. What are they gonna listen to?
Yeah, that's what I was hoping because I was like, oh, it's a cold call, and our plan, as of I guess an hour ago, when we thought we had days to go through, a bureaucratic song and dance with them.
So you do want us to get in touch, to basically sit in a room and talk with Chanda. We're kind
I
of
don't know
saying
if
it-
we can do
he's
that
saying at
in
least
the heat
first.
of the moment. Yeah.
Well, okay.
think-
So my question is, what do we want to get out of that? Like, are we trying to get ourselves into a position where we start negotiating peace? Are we trying to murk ourselves out to say, hey, we can help you win this fight?
Well, I guess there's a few layers of it. So I think one, we need people to resist the coup right now.
Okay.
And two, I think this is building the negotiating leverage. Because I feel like in the long run, people have been like, hey, thanks for y'all doing all this stuff. But because of how we positioned ourselves, we're like, well, we don't really have to listen to you now that
Right. Okay.
this has happened. So I think one, we're getting people on our side to help us in resisting this coup. Two, we're trying to get them in a position where later, hopefully after this all works out for our good, that they recognize that leverage where we can come back and say, hey, since we made you aware of the coup, here's some reformations we need you to make.
Okay. I just wanted to know why we were wanting to meet these people who didn't know much about us, and that works. But we all totally interrupted Cade and Daddy Issues Dad
Yeah.
call.
A lot of hushed whispering. A
Yeah.
conversation went on in the background there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm willing to play fairly fast and loose with that sort of time. I will say as a side note, I have considered in some situations being a little bit more like let's hash this out real time, like no pausing indefinitely to negotiate things. But I don't know. I enjoy you guys getting to strategize and concoct plans, so I haven't really been inclined to. If at some point you guys feel like you would appreciate that or you would prefer that, let me know. But for now, I'm happy with the way things have gone.
Maybe Avery and I just need buttons that go board, board, board. whenever,
Yeah.
whenever the strategizing gets too intense, we can just.
And that is a fair point. It's good for you guys to have room to speak up and be like, "Hey, can we move on?" or just interject to get to play a part in some way.
Yeah. I feel like the scene with Cade's dad is about over anyway. Be like, okay, so where do you want us to meet you? I know you're on the way to the palace.
Yeah, so he'll send you a location that's it's going to be in the city limits. The Breckenridge estate is
Oh snap! We're getting
out.
a field trip.
Well, I was going to say the Breckenridge estate is outside the city a ways, so he's
disappointment.
Yeah.
I was like, are we going to see Cade's childhood home right now? 'Cause let me pop some popcorn.
Unfortunately, no getting to see the bedroom he grew up in.
I was so wanting to see the sprawling estate so we could make fun of him for being a rich boy.
No,
As
you'll just
one
get to meet. And it looks like he's basically giving you a spot that is it's a parking lot. But Cade, knowing the resources that his father has to call on, is expecting to be rendezvousing with a fairly well-armed convoy.
Does he let his father know what our transport is going to look like? So we don't get, exploded.
He'll say,
Yeah, he can
well,
do that.
we're just driving a couple of rental cars, so don't expect anything fancy.
Of course, son. Don't worry, I wasn't. And it seems like he realizes as he says it that how that comes across. Then he's just silent. But yes,
No.
we'll meet you. We'll wait. Could wait about 5 minutes. But if you're not able to meet at the given time, then we'll need to move on. We are pressed for time. This is, of course, you know. Now, son, be safe.
Yep.
I'll see you soon.
Yes, see you soon.
All right.
Well, that
So
seemed to go
he'll-
pretty well.
It went better than I was expecting. He sent me the address of basically a parking lot. We can rendezvous with their convoy, and we'll be secure while we do so. And we can talk about how we could use this information against the Sons of Glory. I think at this point, since they're trying to take the station, we have to, ironically, support a loyalist movement.
Saoirse nods. That makes sense to her.
It feels weird to say that after all this time.
She kind of smiles. I'm sure for someone as rebellious as you've been in your life, it's an odd twist of fate.
Yes, the irony is killing me.
She kind of begins to grin and she's like, I'm sure your father's gonna love it.
Yes, I'm sure he will.
The hacktivist rebel sticking up for the man.
Yeah. I think Kate will hop in one of the backs of the cars, not the front, and just be like, I'm out, guys. Just like throw his head back, say, here, drive here. And he will glance at Saoirse and say, maybe just in case we want the rest of the team to have minor facial disguises. Changing my face will do nothing, you know. It's my father after all.
She'll change her hair to black again, but while they're sitting in the car, and then she'll speak up and say, all right, anyone else hear that?
I have a feeling that our days of secrecy might be coming to an end.
Ah, all right, it can be after this, though. Let Cade work out his daddy issues in the way he feels comfortable, all right? Then you can have your face back.
I got distracted by hamster. Or whatever that thing is.
I think it's a hamster, or
I think so.
it's that or a rat.
I'm pretty sure it's not
No.
a rat. I don't think it's a rat. Nero is again hesitant. Nero is still feeling the, like, there is no other word for it, the strain of the multiple adjustments that her body has gone through.
Oh, yeah.
We still haven't rested, guys. Nero has not had a chance to recover all the system strain she's accrued.
Well,
Why
if
don't
she's
we-
looking bad, I guess Kate will look at her and say, you can borrow my hoodie. Here.
Saoirse
Yeah,
will.
that's what I guess mechanical reasons, and I guess maybe they know this, but it physically wears them out to
Yeah.
be transformed. And I have a feeling we're about to use a lot of system strength.
Saoirse
Yeah.
would look at Cade and just say, How about the rest of us stay in the car?
That would be good, probably.
Nara looks over and also says, "And I need to save myself up in case I need to be Pinky."
You only have to be Pinky if you want to.
Pinky is a symbol.
Saoirse raises an eyebrow.
Nara looks
Well,
pretty
now I
proud of
gotta-
herself for that.
Now I gotta put a Batman cowl over Nero. So thanks for that Photoshop assignment.
She does look between Cade and Saoirse though, and says, "Shouldn't somebody be with him, just in case?"
Saoirse looks over at Cade. Well, how safe do you feel with your dad?
Well, physically, I'm safe with him. I don't trust any plans, but I'm
What if
physically
somebody
safe.
attacks him?
My dad's got an entire convoy of soldiers heading to the palace with him, so I think it'll be fine.
Oh, so you guys are talking about splitting up.
No,
No.
Nero's talking about when we park the car
Yeah.
and Cade gets
Hiding.
out to talk to his dad.
Oh, okay.
He's saying someone else should go with Cade
Oh, okay, gotcha.
to be out there talking with him, I guess.
Nero's being a
Saoirse-
little bit overly security conscious.
Saoirse will look at Nero thoughtfully and then she'll say, well, I hope you're not talking about yourself because I don't want your face getting plastered all over the Tabukan army's most wanted.
Okay. Bit of a reluctant acquiescence there.
Let Cade make the decision, all right?
Do I still get your hoodie?
Sure.
As long as
Before.
you're not planning on snacking on it.
Funny, Saoirse should mention that because the first thing that Nero does is smell it.
Oh, no.
How much like rich guy does it smell?
Rich guy smell. Roll for rich guy smell. Okay.
Oh, it probably smells like cologne and stuff.
Is that what Nero was hoping for?
No! She crinkles her nose and pushes it back at him.
I mean, like, he'd used it recently.
I think what Nero's unintentionally saying here is that she doesn't like how Kate smells.
Oh, completely.
Oh my.
Right, so are we gonna get to see the meetup this time, or is that a next session? I really think we could power through the meetup,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
We've got
Yeah.
time. I don't think there's going to be anything too, I guess what's the word? Nothing too crazy that happens on the way over, most likely. Let's see. So you guys are all going to load up in your couple of rentals. Unless is Nero riding one of the hover cycles?
She can be.
Okay.
I had assumed that Java was driving the main car, and if Nero was in the main car, then she'd probably be shotgun. Or Brother
Yeah,
Nick, because he's a little bit bigger.
Yeah, I'd assume that Java is in fact driving. It's probably
Yeah.
not hugely important, but just wanted to establish at least what vehicles are going, and if it's a hover cycle, who's riding it. So
I think that makes sense. Nero on the hovercycle, Brother Nick shotgun with Java driving.
okay.
That gives the lovebirds the back seat.
Oh my stars.
Oh my.
Of course she did.
Alrighty then. And you're of course being followed by Cade's bodyguards. So, yeah, you guys gun it for the other side of the city, where Breckenridge and his convoy will be coming.
Okay.
All right. So go ahead.
Oh my word.
I think that will do it.
Also,
Checking
guys,
here to
that's
see.
definitely not a rat. That is a hamster.
Okay. Go ahead and give me pilot check for the trip across
course.
the city here.
Just Java or Nero also?
Yeah, narrow also.
All right. With Dex?
This will be pilot with dexterity. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
We're doing great, boys. We're doing
thanks.
great.
Modifiers saving the day.
Yep.
For sure. All right. So you all managed to make it across the city without any trouble. Traffic's a bit heavy. Nero just has an easier time on the hover cycle, dodging and weaving through, and Java has to do a bit of aggressive driving to keep up the pace and get through the worst of it. You know, and anyway, it seems like traffic is a little heavier than usual at this time of day. But you make it over to the rendezvous point. And you wait just a handful of minutes. And then the Breckenridge convoy rolls up. And it is actually pretty significant. You can see it coming from a ways off. Makes a bit of commotion in the traffic. It's a quartet of troop transports that are armored with mounted weapons on top. And they're accompanied by a single grav tank. And they roll on into the
With the
meetup
tank.
spot. Mm-hmm.
Can't leave the tank behind.
Yeah.
And they basically the troop carriers basically circle the wagons around the parked tank, and the rear hatch opens up for and you can see in through the back that Mr. Breckenridge himself is sitting in inside the grav tank with a couple of his soldiers.
Okay, well, Cade will hop out and look back at the car briefly, since Saoirse said she'd come with him.
She slides
And
over to follow him. So she's making like she's gonna follow him out of the car.
yeah, he says Black will be fine. At
Be
this point,
careful,
he's in military mode.
both of you.
We will. And so, hop out and walk over to the tank that's carrying his dad.
As they walk over, the soldiers manning mounted weapons look at them as they're panning the turrets out over the surrounding streets and other buildings. They give a nod to Kadir and kind of brief salutes.
Yeah, and he'll probably have his tattoo visibly glowing at this point, just to make sure that they know he's actually Kadir.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so they walk up to the back of the grav tank there, where it's hovering just a foot or so off the ground at this point, and his dad steps down into the back of it is kind of concave, so it kind of provides some shelter from most angles, even when you step immediately when you step out the back of it. And one of his soldiers pushes past to go stand behind you both, providing some body blocking. And so they're all on high alert. He steps forward, clasps your arm in his, and after only the briefest hesitation, pulls Kate in for a hug if he'll take it.
Yeah, he'll take it, but feels slightly awkward in the moment.
Yeah. It's good to see you in one piece, son. It does me good to see you proclaiming your heritage. Though I understand this doesn't mean everything has changed. It still does my heart good to see it.
Are you expecting that there's a threat against you, Father, that you are traveling in a tank today? Is it that bad?
It's not good, son. I looking through what you sent me, it may even be worse than I suspected, though I did have some suspicions about what the Sons of Glory were up to. I'll have to think later about whether I should have or could have done more earlier, but I need to be able to stand with the king against this. I hope that I stand with the king against this. I don't believe him to be a man that would condone this, but it's not as though we're exactly on secret sharing basis.
Well, the good news is this at least gives the king a way out. He can at least turn back, say that these are not his decisions, even if they were. But
He looks a
it's
little
weird. Just
looks a little surprised to hear you say that, but go ahead.
And Cade will look uncomfortable and say, and it is weird to say that for the first time in my life, I am considering that we must, myself included, support a loyalist movement. For a long time, I thought it was the king that was causing this problem. But if it is not the king, he will require everyone's support.
He gives you an appraising look. And here I thought you slept through all your all your civics classes.
I simply did not agree with the conclusions in my civics classes, Father.
Well,
I learned the lesson.
I'm pleased to hear your assessment. We were agreed on one thing, it's that our king is not a perfect man. Yet I do hope that he will quickly move to denounce the Sons of Glory. In light of these events, if anything, this, whatever it is, coup is giving me hope that perhaps his hands are clean.
Yes.
Now, quickly before I leave you, the matter of your man Ahmed's family. I believe you'd wanted to reunite him with them. I had them moved to Glitavos. It was frankly going to be easier to keep them under the radar. The overpopulation they're dealing with there is, well, it makes for an easy cover. But I assure you they're being well taken care of. I sent a pair of my most trustworthy men to be left to their own devices for long periods of time without losing their minds to drink. Here, and he reaches back into the grav tank, and one of his men hands him a little data stick. Contact information, should you find your way to Glitavos after all this. Or if you send your man on his way, this should be all he needs to get in touch with them.
Thank you very much, Father. He may be an excellent asset in the future as well.
I hope so, but either way, it was the right thing.
Yes.
And it didn't cost me much at all. He, at this point, acknowledges Saoirse's presence. And, yeah, sorry, I was just chuckling at the text chat. Trying to think how. Okay, I think what he would say is, so is this the young woman you've been getting into all this trouble with, Kadir? Haven't had the pleasure of meeting.
This is one of the members of the crew that I have been part of. Yes.
He's extended his hand towards Saoirse. With the,
She takes
kind of
it and will shake his hand.
And he says, "My apologies. I should have recalled you're the captain of the crew. Captain Saoirse, was it?"
She looks a little surprised that he knows that information. So she'll go ahead and nod.
Well, it's I wish that we had more time to get acquainted, perhaps over a dinner, but unfortunately times press. Thank you for, well, not getting my son killed just yet.
She feels her face contorting and realizes she's starting to grin, but trying not to grin when his dad says that. And she'll say, in the same voice she had used to Nafia's neighbor, well, he doesn't always make it easy not to kill him, but I do appreciate the effort.
Wow.
He laughs at that. Well, it's good to hear that he hasn't changed entirely. But he says that smiling and giving Kate a clap on the shoulder. Um,
Dinner sounds lovely. We'll have to get it in the books if we all survive.
and with what Cade can pick up on just a bit of pain in his expression as he says, um, "We don't always see quite eye to eye, but I do love you, son." And he just cuts off. Well, sorry, I don't mean to embarrass you. And he but he shakes Cade's hand again, and apparently kind of having picked up on the awkwardness of the hug, he says, "Keep in touch, and if you find yourself at the palace, just well, be sure to announce yourself. I have no idea what's going to happen over there."
It would be interesting to announce myself there. Um, I would hope that there would be a way to do so safely and be able to bring the rest of the crew if it comes to that. But considering past matters, that may be difficult.
Well, if in doubt, look for my men, and I trust that, well, trust that you'll be able to discern who you can trust. Otherwise,
Certainly.
Speaking of who you felt you could trust, Kadir, was there not someone one of your crewmates had said to mention to your father if he could connect with them?
Oh, yes. Out of character, was that Shenda Abdel?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. He'll say to his dad, yes, I almost forgot. Shenda Abdel. He's seems to be something of a moderate, and he seems to be friendly, at least to a more moderate stance. And he is definitely not aligned with the Sons of Glory. I think he is someone you could trust.
he considers that for a moment. Yes, that does seem likely. You have very thorough information, son. I'd known he wasn't in line with all of the king's policy stances, but he tends to keep to himself. Thank you. I will. He looks back one of his other men, uh, and with significant look, will reach out and see what we can do about securing his help. He'll not want to end up on the wrong side or the sidelines in all this.
Yes.
So far, my efforts with most of the ministers have been met with either silence or mild resistance. No one's interested in rushing and possibly making the wrong move. I fear that means a lot will sit this out if they can. Let it play out how it will.
I fear that would be very unfortunate for our people.
You and I both, son. Well, yeah. He cocks his head as though listening to something in his ear. Sounds like our time is up, son. We need to be moving. Be safe out there and do what you can to steer this in the right direction. I'll be doing my part. And he gets a grim look on his face.
Understood. So will we.
All right.
Sasha nods to him again, in a goodbye.
So he bids you farewell and steps back up into the tank. And he stands there watching you as the tank, glides off and the door slowly closes on him, watching you with a stoic face until it shuts. And the Breckenridge convoy is away. I think that'll be a good note for us to end on. We went a good bit after our usual time, but
Yep.
thank you all for your patience with that. We'll go ahead and jump right into faves and see if we can get that done fairly quickly here. Oh, we got a bunch of... Oh, okay, guys.
Not sure why the pirate hat was needed, but apparently it was needed.
The random pirate on top of the
All right. Ethan, enough memeing. You're up first with the faves here, so you gotta shift gears a little bit.
Yes, all the bombshells. Oh, a lot of stuff happened. And a lot faster than I think any of us were thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, literal bombshells, it sounds like.
Mm,
Yeah, and you guys have jumped to quite quickly. Ethan, if that's it for you, we would go to Robert.
I've been trying to think. I think it was funny with all the sick burns, but yeah, I would echo Ethan. All the bombshells. I don't think any of us was anticipating that we had as little time as we did.
All right. Avery then.
I'd say bombshells too, but I want to be different, so I'm gonna say being the village idiot, dropping the bomb to Nafia that we saw at your house.
Uh-huh. It certainly moved the conversation.
That it did.
And it feels like Nero and Java were the superstars of plot movement these last couple sessions.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Or something.
oh man, I am torn here. There are there are like multiple good things. And I'm trying to figure out how to word it that doesn't come across as like a backhanded compliment or something.
Oh, just backhand us. Do it out in the open instead of in secret like you usually do.
Oh my. Fierce words. I think I think one thing that I actually liked was the heated exchange with Nafia, because I don't know, it just felt very organic. It wasn't. It kind of it almost like it got away from everybody in the moment, and everyone was just reacting. And to me, that made it feel much more alive, like it was, an interrogation over, really, potentially damaging and, complicated stuff, and all the emotions that are tied up in all that, and the feelings of danger and mistrust and betrayal and all that. So I enjoyed that. And the other part, I probably say this too often, but I love seeing you guys like strategize on the fly. It's just, I don't know, you guys do it really well, and I feel like one of the things I really enjoy as a GM is putting together some sort of, I kind of think of them as puzzles, these sort of social or political or logistical puzzles, and seeing you guys kind of pick them apart and dodge and weave your way through them is just a lot of fun. So that's it for me. Danielle?
I'm interested to see how you're going to type that out.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think I already put it.
he's like a tenth of the words that he should have. Oh, that's cool.
Oh, damn.
I'm kidding, Ben. I'm teasing
Oh,
you.
actually, I'll take it. Although I did realize after you said that I could have actually used some more words.
I think trying to think. I guess favorite would be that we all, I feel, did pretty well responding to or reacting to how quickly things had to move once the coup was going down.
Oh, coo. I thought you said poo.
Oh,
And I was thinking, yes, the poo hitting the fan is a really funny way of saying that.
It's raining poo.
there is poor Poopiettes. You got it.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
Oh, you
You
guys.
can hear that.
Without going into detail, earlier Danielle and I were having the best time. I had to back off a little bit because it probably felt like I was laughing at Danielle at one point, but
Guys, I
it was
like
a lot of
just
fun.
stroked out temporarily because the amount of things I just said straight up wrong about this campaign was so bad. I said molten ardor again. After that, I was trying to say Erizcor Coupiettes, but I said Erizcor Poopriettes or something, and Ben was like, "Did you just say Erizcor Poopiettes?" And I was like, "No, I didn't." He was like, "Yes, you did."
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was called Poopriettes. It was just great.
Oh no. There was another thing I said wrong too, and I was like, I don't know why I'm trying to talk right now. I am obviously incapable of talking right now. Me no words. Me just write. You tell me what to write.
Yeah. All right.
I think
Did I
I'll
summarize
say
that well?
our response to things picking up speed, but then I'll also say finally getting to meet Daddy Breckenridge. Yeah. Why was there a need for a pirate hat, by the way? I need to ask. Since I'm Captain Saoirse, is that what it was?
I think asking why sorts of questions of Avery is it's a dangerous pursuit.
Do you really need to know?
I guess I don't.
There you go.
Say he had like the better part of 2 hours to,
Is
to
is
meditate
your
on.
life better with the pirate hat?
I can't say it's not.
Right?
Perfect.
All right, Diggs, what about your faves?
Everything that everyone has already said, but I will throw two new faves on the pile. One, Brother Nick's dressing down of Nafia was fantastic. It was just from beginning to end a fantastic play of play of role. And the other was I realized that Saoirse was already needing to step outside with some heavy thoughts, but I really appreciated the weight that was given to Nero's admission to her. And then she stepped outside.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, I think I may have slightly missed that one. That was that in the text
Yeah.
in the chat? Okay.
It was
I'll have to.
right around when we were all talking about packing up. Oh, it was when Cade and Nero were kind of bickering.
Mm-hmm.
about packing, and Nero saying that her weapons are all packed, and that's good enough.
Okay. Got you. Yeah, I'll have to do my usual little catch up afterward. But
Yeah.
all right. Well, I think that's everybody. Everybody take an XP, though. Unfortunately, still no rest for the wicked. Or I mean, for the crew.
Yeah, the GM is bleeding us dry.
Nope.
Send help.
um. Yeah, I am. See, I hadn't. I guess I've. There have been times where I thought like, well, party gets to a certain level, there's just nothing you can do without just, blatantly getting
no.
ridiculous.
Ethan.
But it seems like. What?
Oh goodness.
Oh, he's so quick. I was just gonna say, but I'm realizing like, if there are, maintaining kind of a sense of urgency. The attrition is honestly kind of, it's sort of keeping up with you guys. I mean, you've had a couple fairly close calls, but nothing just like super, super harrowing, I don't think. But yeah, it's kind of set up for with that potential, just because of how you guys have been go 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 go.
Yeah, we really have been the last few days in character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was gonna say, I was gonna check and see. I mean, you guys have been pretty action packed for the past several days. I mean, you had, well, okay, yeah, you accumulated a good bit when you arrived in Tabuk and had to deal with the ships and all that. But yeah, then since then, in those few days since landing, you really haven't taken much of a break. You've been pushing pretty consistently. Ethan, that is top tier. Well, I think that covers everything. We can go ahead and.
I can't yet.
Oh, you can't yet.
Nope. We have to
You
wait
still have
until
to.
the Yep.
Oh, there's some.
Oh, okay.
Oh my goodness gracious! Yeah, there's a flood of it going on.
It must end before we can end, because I have to post the faves and I don't want to interrupt. I'm not trying to
Rude.
push you
It looks
guys
like
towards an end.
It looks like it's pretty much over.
Yeah.
It can always
Yeah.
take a pause.
I don't know where I was gonna go to go from there, so I was kind of getting stuck.
Oh.
Plus, I have to get up for meetings bright and early, so I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
roll.
I
You
think
wanna-
it's good
Shouldn't
ending
keep
there.
Robert up too late.
I
trapped
think
in
it is that
text
final thought of worrying about the crew planning their nuptials is a great ending.
Oh man.
All right, there we go. It's posted. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
Was Robert's favorite the actual bombshells, or you mean figuratively?
Figuratively.
yeah.
Have there
my
been
assumption
any
was the
actual
figurative ones.
bombshells yet? Just checking.
There
I didn't
haven't
miss
been.
that, did I?
No,
Okay.
Spoiler alert. It's
I
been a
will
little
end the
while since
stream
you
here.
guys got airstriked, so
Oh my.
Yeah.
I'll just end
Thanks
on
for
that
that.
note. With my evil cackle.